Let's move on to another movement that's happened today. I said about this earlier, and that was because I feel like we've gone over everything with Devontae Adams at the Jets.
It's all these ex-Raiders boys on the move, mate. That's what it is.
All these ex-Raiders. Amari Cooper has been traded to the Buffalo Bills from the Cleveland Browns, literally about an hour and a half ago, 2 hours ago. So we have not necessarily prepped all that much for this, but like we know what's going on. So basically, Cooper and a 2025 sixth rounder has gone to the Bills, and Bills have given back a 2025 third rounder and a 2026 seventh rounder. James, I know you said you didn't know what the package was. What has that sound on the face of it to you? I feel like that feels fair to me. I feel like that's a reasonable trade in my book for the Bills.
Yeah, I mean, the Bills at the start of the year, we were looking at the roster and thinking, this is probably missing something at receiver. Unless, like Keon Coleman comes in and absolutely tears it up from the get-go, which hasn't really happened. When they moved on from Diggs, you thought they would bring someone in to replace him, and they just kind of haven't really. And they've still looked okay, but they do need something else. And Cleveland is arguably the worst quarterback situation in the league at the moment. I mean, even teams that you think are worse, the Panthers, I mean, I'd still rather play with Andy Dalton under center than Deshaun Watson. I mean, let's just have the quick Deshaun Watson proviso kind of thing. Move all the personal outside of the football stuff aside. On the field, he hasn't been doing it either. And that time away from the game just hasn't served him well at all. And he just looks a complete shadow of himself. And Cooper, the last couple of years, I mean, the number of touchdowns that he caught 5 last year, 9 the year before. And then when he was in Dallas, 8-5, 8-6. He's not exactly tearing it up for what he's been paid as. He's been paid like a number one guy, and arguably he plays as a 2. And I think that a late round compensation is about as much as you could have bled out of a team for him at this moment in time. That being said, he's got good hands. If you can get the ball to him, he's big. He can elevate well. He's still got the jump. He looks like he can go up and make a catches up at that high catch point, challenging cornerbacks like in that sort of one-on-one way. And Josh Allen obviously is a major upgrade for him, and will give him plenty of those opportunities. And he adds something different to their receiving core. They're very small, quick, shifty receivers. He's that big frame that can move people around and knock people off the ball. He can play that sort of blocking game. He's quite used to that. I remember him doing it at the Raiders quite a lot. He's just when he's coming at you, he's like he was at one time anyway. He was a bit like a freight train. You just didn't want to be in the way of it when he's moving at full speed. So I don't know if he's got that intimidation factor anymore. I don't think defenders are scared of him. But is that just because the throws haven't been great?
He got 1,250 yards last year at Cleveland. Though,
yeah.
He might have scored 5 touchdowns, but Duke can get you down the field. Like he
can. Career high as well, wasn't it?
But I seem to remember a lot of that is yards after catch, and it's like he's not necessarily making the deep runs that he was able to do at one time. I know he's had a lot of injuries and stuff, and he's not necessarily got that burst of pace that gets him that separation. He's making the tough catches and then just bowling people around and knocking them off and shifting downfield later on. But he is, look,
I'm really sorry to rain on your parade with that, but it was actually one of his lowest yards after the catch seasons.
I am actually, to be fair as well, I'm completely forgetting about the Flacco of it all last year, which does make a difference. I'm saying about playing under Deshaun Watson, but Flacco was an X factor for them last year. So you know,
a sentence we thought we would never hear. Joe Flacco being an X factor.
Well, you never count these old boys out. That's what Johnny's been doing in New York for the last few weeks. Will it stretch the field for Buffalo a bit more? Yeah, absolutely. Will it give him more options? 100%. It takes the pressure off the likes of Keon Coleman. He doesn't have to be, that. He can learn the game a little bit more than he's been learning very much on the job, and that is kind of what a rookie does. I get that at the receiver position, but
you've got to have someone to guide you, haven't you, James?
Yeah, that's it. And I think that is a great move for them as well, that older presence again. And I think you get that in New York with bringing in Devontae Adams, for example. You got a few younger guys there that you can build up. I don't dislike the move in any way, and I think getting out of Cleveland at the moment for anybody is a wise move. I mean,
fine by me as a Steeler fan.
I think
by me. Get rid of more.
It's a shame that the likes of Myles Garrett still have to linger there. It's just like this super X factor guy when he could be making such a massive difference somewhere else. But yeah, fair play to the Bills. Right trade, right place for him, I think, and the compensation is more than fair if he can stretch the field for them and take them that one step further.
I really like what you're saying about the whole veteran presence, Johnny, and that's what you were saying a moment ago before we came on air, is that you watched the game last night, the Jets and Bills, and you were like, the Bills really missed Stephon Diggs. They missed that veteran presence, and I think you're right. I think when if Cooper goes over there and can perform to the way he can perform, that opens up people like Kincaid and Knox, who have both had sort of quiet seasons so far. Keon Coleman's got someone to learn from. He can then develop as well. They've got a great established running game now. I know James Cook didn't play last night, but even that Ray Davis, is it the backup who played last night? He looked really great as well. I mean, what helps is probably this is the best quarterback Cooper's played for as well, isn't it, Johnny? But like you said, how much do you think the Bills is going to help the Bills having that veteran presence now in that receiving room?
Yeah, I think this is the best deal of the day.
Really, you think this is a better deal for the Bills than you getting Adams?
I think watching yesterday's game, it was just so obvious how much the Bills missed Stephon Diggs. As we've mentioned, Ray Davis was doing everything on his own. He looks an absolute wrecking ball, just running it straight sort of character, by the way. But he led on receiving yards as well. There were a couple of times where I felt Allen was lucky in some of his plays in terms of some of his throws. Obviously, fantastic, but they need the options, and bringing in someone like Amari Cooper. Okay, as James has sort of mentioned, might not have the X factor that he has had in previous years, but I think he certainly becomes the best receiver on the Bills offense. I genuinely think this is a game changer for the Bills in the immediate. Losing Stephon Diggs, we knew that they were never going to keep him. Last year the relationship between him and Josh Allen had transcribed, but everything else seems to have remained the same. It's just been Diggs, I suppose, has been the one thing that has changed in Buffalo. Got a really good defense. The cornerback Johnson, TJ Bernard, really, really, really strong players on that side of the ball. Ray Davis, James Cook, and now you add in Amari Cooper on top of Josh Allen. This is now, in my opinion, a real contending team. So yeah, I think it's a brilliant move. Definitely the sort of thing that they needed to do. And I think I read something as well. It's obviously the compensation is what it is, but I think it'll cost them less than $1 million for the remainder of this year. So if it doesn't work out, then yeah, it's not going to cost you a huge amount. Bills, I think, I've just, with this move, honestly, I'm it's obviously happened in the last couple of the last hour or so, so we've not really had too much time to digest. But this is exactly what Buffalo needed to do.
Sneaky old. Like, I didn't realize he was 30. I kind of sort of forgot about a couple of years in Dallas. I forgot he was there for 4 years. So forget about those middle years a little bit. It doesn't seem like he's been knocking around as long as he has done. He's still got something in the tank. Hopefully
Was he traded? So he was traded
from the Raiders to the Cowboys, mid-season.
Mid-season
as well, and he hit the ground running, I think, as well, didn't he?
He was playing really well. Again, we were having quarterback issues at the time, and it just was the right move for him to go there.
He that year played 6 games for the Raiders, 9 games.
Yeah, I think he got 1 touchdown as well.
He got 1 touchdown for 280 yards, and he got 725 yards and 6 touchdowns for Dallas.
Yeah.
Well, Adams moved to the Jets. Cooper goes to the Bills. The Bills have cut Marcus Valdes-Scantling to make room for him. MVS will go back to the Chiefs, and the Chiefs will still win the Super Bowl. That is literally the moral of this story. Is MVS is going to go back, and he's going to have a Super Bowl ring. That's what's going to happen. We can see it.
No, it won't. It won't. Anyone else. If they do this 3-peat thing again, then I'm fully buying into that. The NFL is all scripted, and this is just a complete con. I just give up on sport if they win again.
It's all scripted, exactly. It's already ready to go for us. We are getting to